Do you work out on a fast day?
How do you control emotional eating?
I prefer to work out at like 3 to 4 a.m. Is it okay if I skip breakfast? Signs of a fast metabolism. Here's a question for Mo. My wife's been struggling with back pain. Any tips from
great
Mo?
Ones. Great ones.
Yeah.
Oh.
We all go through that, huh?
Yeah.
Stretching, massages. If she pulled anything, or if she, it takes time.
Is it an age thing? Will you let us know how old she is and if she strained it? Or if she's just, it's more of a
deterioration.
Deterioration. You can't even say it.
Deterioration.
Could it be that? Which here's something for everybody that's online right now. That will happen to everybody in time. So I would recommend
39.
She's 39. So yeah, that's probably just a deterioration. Wow, that's my word of the day right there, folks. But with that being said,
it happens. It happened to me. I worked out. I didn't feel like I pulled anything or I did anything wrong. And then the next morning I woke up and my back was really jacked. Like I couldn't get out of bed. I got massages, and then you really, really have to learn how to stretch for your back. I didn't know how to stretch. So, because I always worked out. I went in the gym. I didn't really stretch much before or after. I didn't do any warm-ups, blah, blah, blah. That's how I used to work out back in the day.
Well, another thing too is we're getting for the house a hyperextension and a decline bench for lower abs. So something that people don't realize is lower back problem a lot of the time is because of weak abs. So why is the back hurt? Because your front's hurt. Because that's how the body works. I don't know if you guys realize that a bad knee could be because of a weak hamstring.
Yeah.
Even though the front of the knee is hurting, it could be the hamstring. So it's a yin yang. It's the back to the front. And so your stomach could be so weak that it's hurting your back. And so one thing that we do is the stretching, the massages help.
A lot.
But also,
you gotta get the right person. Though.
We mostly now too
Yeah.
is I've done this a lot more in the last few years. Is I've focused on understanding what falls apart on people faster than other things. And some of the things that fall apart is the lower back, the hip range of motion. These are things that you're going to start seeing by 35 or 40 start deteriorating. Oh, I said it. And that's what I don't want for you guys. And so what we'll do is we'll actually do hyperextensions a couple times during a week relative to just on back day. And then our ab work.
Should I cut at 17 years old? I'm about 20% fat.
He's 17. He's 20%.
That's right.
I don't really want to answer that one. That's a tough one. This is what I recommend. Being underage, you're still growing so fast, which is a great thing. So if instead of the sense of saying I'm going to cut, I would get on a proper nutrition plan and let the body, as such a young age, continue to grow and use those calories now. And I think you'll trim up as you continue to grow and build that muscle. I would not want to put you in such an extreme deficit, especially being a 17-year-old kid. I hate the fact that they don't govern wrestling in schools. And parents make their kids cut. And back in my day, man, my brother cut weight. And I saw these guys cut weight. And it's such a age that you should never be playing with your body weight like that during growth period. And so that's one thing that my son will be wrestling heavyweight from the get-go. I don't care if he's 170 pounds. He's wrestling heavyweight. He will never cut weight until he's past his 20s. So that's what I would recommend. I'd make sure that you're eating a good amount of calories. You're still going to be able to cut. And don't assume 20%. Unless you got tested and you're 20%, 20% isn't as bad as people think it is. I slice up the most ripped I've ever been and stuff like that. I'm around 7 to 8%. And that's high caliber winning the Mr. Universe. So 14, 15 is probably great for me. So if you're 20, don't freak out. Be calm about this and just be healthy.
Do you work out on a fast day?
Yes.
Done.
Oh, I answered that one.
Yeah,
You did?
but I wanted to hear Mike say it.
Why wouldn't you work out on a fast day?
I wanted it to come from Michael's mouth.
What's the philosophy on that? What was his mental state? Because I'm taking food out that you wouldn't train? Then why take the food out? Just keep the food in and train.
What?
Right?
My son is 14. He watches your videos, but doesn't want to work out. How do I get him motivated to start working out?
Bring him to me. Bring him to me. Your 14-year-old kid, come and train with us and the Titan crew one day and find out what he wants to do. If he's watching the videos, is it something about the training or the athletics? Is he doing sports? If he's 14, is he doing any sports and does he like any sports? Probably the best question of the day. Nice job, David. How do you control emotional eating?
Put a lock on your mouth.
So don't ask Mona that because she has no comprehension of that. That is more of an American thing, I think. I'm going to answer this though. Let's answer
ahead.
this. Hey,
Yeah, I am.
hey.
So David,
All right, so let Mo answer this first because this is something that's interesting. I am an emotional eater. Believe it or not. I can't say that I'm extreme because I've been able to taper it to where I've been able to live my life being a bodybuilder and stuff. So I've been able to taper it or control it. But I did set up days back in the old school where I would have a very high day and celebrate the week of training, and then on Sunday or a day and eat. And I stopped doing that about 10 years ago. And cleaned it up. Now what we do is we do celebrations. You want to sit here?
no.
We do celebrations and we set a goal and celebration. So like, hey, if we train the next 2 weeks perfect, then we can go out for sushi or something like that.
What's up, egg whites?
So we do that sense. But
Egg whites in the house. Thank you. I'm gonna go have my egg white shake here in a second. By the way.
Love our egg
can
whites.
you give them some tips on what you do about emotional eating?
Well, first of all, I don't get emotional. Okay. Second of all,
We know this. You guys don't know this. She don't.
something that was like really crazy to me was like seeing people when
Maybe
they were
this is
allowed.
not good for you to answer.
Why?
Because
I'm gonna
you-
insult somebody. Okay, I'm not
Kind
gonna
of,
answer
but you
this
grew up
'cause-
a different way.
Okay. I'm just gonna say, and I'm gonna leave it at this. Okay, it's all about mind control when it comes to emotional eating. For me, I could control anything. I could adapt to things, and that's all. I'll leave it here.
Yeah.
It's all a
Let
mental
me do it
thing.
as an American.
Go ahead.
We grew up a little eating a little bit more.
It's not to tell you off.
She's a little bit headstrong where she doesn't have that emotional problems or anything like that. So let me come from the side of having the emotional problem where I did like to eat and stuff like that. Try to set it up to celebrate. You know how I always say, do the diet and then have a celebration or get ready for a photo shoot. Even if that's like a day of eating, make it that instead of going to the fridge.
When you-
Also, we gave him some tricks, didn't we?
Yeah.
We gave him some tricks.
we did. We did a lot of YouTubes on that, but it's just, you get to the point where you really don't appreciate food anymore. We appreciate food. I appreciate food.
I
Even
appreciate
though-
food.
Yeah. It's like, you kidding me? My Mike really appreciates food right now.
David, it's also tough in a house that if you're the only one dieting. I'm pretty lucky that I've always, people around me always are on a nutrition plan or trying to eat, except for Heath Evans, but we got Heath Evans out of our lives. So that's okay. But in the sense of it,
He's asking for his wife. 'cause the
he's
wife-
asking for the wife, she does.
She's the one that's.
It's a tough thing, and it's just something emotionally. It's tough though. I would come up with tricks and eating.
Small goals.
Small goals,
and
eating.
then work your way to the bigger picture.
Also, learn to cook.
Oh,
Learn to
yeah.
cook. Mona cooks some great food that feels like cheat meals that are incredibly good. and then it's just the emotional battle.
Yeah.
It's never easy. I'm gonna say that though, it's not easy unless you're Mona.
That's right. I prefer to work out at like 3 to 4 a.m. Is it okay if I skip breakfast?
What?
Or do I try to get something in my stomach?
Well, if you're trying to get better, then yeah, you should always eat.
Mhm.
But if you're just exercising because you like exercising, do as you wish. You guys know me. Unless you're eating right, then you're just kind of breaking down your body.
Mm-hmm.
And also, just keep in mind that if you're doing fasted workouts, imagine what you're telling your body. You wake up, your body's hungry, regardless of how you feel. It needs nutrients to start functioning. You say, forget you. I don't have time to feed you. I want to go work out and traumatize my body more with bad nutrition, and I'll feed you after, because that's when I got time. I mean, you're just setting your body up to be destroyed.
Signs of a fast metabolism.
Oh, great. Easy. You don't have to work out as much. You don't have to do cardio. You wake up first thing in the morning and you're starving, regardless of how you ate the night before. Your body doesn't change much and you stay healthy and lean. These are all signs of a healthy metabolism. Now, anybody on here can say that? Because that's a really good metabolism. That's what we would all prefer to have, and that's where you want to get to.
Yep, that's that.
Alrighty. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I gotta go. And you gotta go.